This is my favorite gospel lesson. We're not supposed to have favorites, but there you have it. This is the gospel lesson that I used in our wedding. This is the first gospel lesson that sparked my imagination when I was a child. And I love that it sparks such wonderful images for me by using everyday objects. Salt, lamp, light stand, basket. I could almost picture that city on the hill as it was shining brightly for all the land around it. And of course, there was that wonderful song that we were thinking about as we were planning today's liturgy. Hide it under a bushel? No, this little light of mine. So this has so many great images in it. You could go in a million different directions, but I'm going to spare you and go in just one. And I'm going to stick with that image of light because it's the season of light, the season of Epiphany. When we were studying the book, Making Neighborhoods Whole, Robert Propst, one of our own, brought one of his friends to talk to our book study group here at Holy Communion. And she gave this wonderful story about reading in her kitchen late at night with the kitchen light on and hearing something in her backyard. And she, of course, got a little startled, but thought, okay, I'm going to go figure out what that noise was. And as she opened the back door of her kitchen to the dark backyard where she didn't know what was waiting for her, the light from the kitchen spilled out into the yard so that she could see it. She said it just struck her in that moment that the darkness didn't spill into the kitchen. It was the light that spread into the yard. Our light has such power for others. Our light, as we shine in the darkness, can light up an entire yard from just one lamp. As I was traveling to a clergy conference this week, I was listening to Holy Envy by Barbara Brown Taylor, one of my favorite books and favorite authors. And she does a lot of work with interfaith. And she was teaching this class about all the different faith traditions of the world. And she said, you know what I started to realize is that in the West, we tend to split things apart from each other far too quickly. We tend to put a divide between things that are not like each other and almost put them in conflict with each other. Body and spirit, mind and soul, light and dark. And right when she said that, I was like, well, wait a second. I like you, Barbara Brown Taylor, but you've gone too far. Because light is good and dark is bad. And that's an okay distinction for me. So I turned off my phone and I kind of sat there stewing in my plane seat for a little while, kind of defiantly thinking, of course she's right. She's always right. And I started stewing on it. And I thought about what she said right after that, which is, what if it's more of a dance? And in that moment, my heart opened and I thought, well, what about when the sun rises and when the sun sets? And in those moments when light and dark are dancing with each other, those are the magical moments, right? Those are the moments when that bright light bursts into a million different colors. When that one single bright blue sky can turn into radiant orange and purple and pink and red and take on a more full character than it ever had by itself. And then I started thinking about those times in our lives when we find ourselves in a place of darkness And it's in those moments when we sometimes realize that we're not completely in control, that we're not God, and we don't have to be God. And God can shine his light in those dark moments, and our hearts can be open to his presence and his help in ways that maybe when everything is going just fine, we think we got this. I'm doing just fine all by myself. But it's when that darkness and light are dancing together that God can find a way to break forth in our lives with all the many colors of the sunrise and the sunset. So as you think about light in the season ahead, and as you wake early in the morning and go out probably closer to 4:45 at night, look up and think about the light and the dark dancing together. And give a moment to pause and think about when that might be happening in your own lives. Amen.